Today, I want to talk to you about weight loss in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I'm no expert, but I have a little bit of experience. Let me prove it to you. Take a look at this picture. That's me at my heaviest. At least I think it was my heaviest. It was close to my heaviest, and it's probably my least favorite, most unflattering picture. And the reason why this is relevant, that picture's from 2021. It's not a new transformation picture. It's not something that just happened. It's something that's kind of old. But it's important that I show it to you for two reasons. Reason number one, weight loss takes time. Reason number two is because I just recently hit that same low again. Let me explain. In 2020, when everything shut down, of course, like most people, you had more time on your hands. I took up some hobbies, some different things. I started working out. I actually started running. I had a goal in mind. I was trying to run, and as big as I am, it was pretty hard on my knees and probably not a good idea, but I tried it anyway. So I was trying to run, and I was trying to get in shape, and I lost a lot of weight. I lost probably 30 some odd pounds, which is pretty darn impressive because at my highest, I was really heavy. I look at that picture, my hair looks terrible, but I was really heavy. And I was super proud of myself. And I remember posting on my Instagram. Go back to my Instagram, at Chris Learns Jiu-Jitsu, and scroll to the bottom and you'll see this very same transformation picture from 2021 because I was really proud because I hit a certain number. I hit a low that I hadn't seen in a while, and I recently hit that low again. I'm actually 2 pounds beneath that low right now, and I'm super excited. And this time around, I got a little help from my good friend Ozempic, and I'm not killing myself running and going to CrossFit and all this other stuff. There's nothing wrong with running. There's nothing wrong with going to CrossFit, but I'm gonna tell you how I lost weight in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and how I think you can lose weight in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you 5 things. I don't like doing these videos, it feels so cheesy, but I'm gonna tell you 5 things that I learned, 5 things that I think you need to know in order to be successful in losing weight while training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So if you're in for this short, hopefully not too long video, I'm gonna tell you what I've learned, and hopefully we can end up on the same page. Now, number 1 is this: consistency matters more than intensity. Let me explain. If you work out once like a machine and you end up so sore you can't scratch your own nose or wash your own hair, and you can't train for another week, what good was that? If you are consistent, if you train in a moderate pace consistently 2 or 3 times a week, that's gonna beat the stuffing out of killing yourself with some crazy super high intense workout that you can't sustain. Consistency and sustainability trumps, absolutely wipes the floor with a super heavy high intense workout any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And let me just say, if you train twice a week, 3 times a week, and you do it at a moderate pace, good heart rate, good cardiovascular workout, lifting, whatever it is, you will see results, I promise. I used to feel like I wasn't doing enough, and I would tell myself, man, you're not doing enough, you gotta go harder. As a matter of fact, if you go back to some of my old pictures, you will see me at a CrossFit gym running with a weighted vest on, doing squats, doing burpees, doing bar over burpees, doing thrusters, doing deadlifts. I was going hard and I was killing myself. And I was able to sustain it for a long period of time. I was devoted, I was committed, but at the end of the day, man, consistency mattered more than intensity, because some days I was sore and I had to throttle it back a little bit. And if that's the case, that's all right. I'd rather you show up 2 or 3 times a week and go moderate than show up once a week and go hard. You will see better results. I know I did. When I stopped trying to kill myself and be a hero, I got better freaking results. The bell's about to ring, so I'm gonna hold for a second and then I'll continue. The second thing you need to be successful losing weight with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is you gotta have patience. When I say patience, I mean you have to be in it for the long haul. Now, God forbid if you're like me, you're on social media, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and people are constantly showing you transformation videos, how they lost 60 pounds in 6 weeks, and how this flat tummy tea and this waist trainer and this, training program can make you lose 90 pounds in 90 days. That crap is just not realistic. And if you believe that crap, it's gonna make your life so much harder. And I think a good rule of thumb, and I'm looking at my notes, but a good rule of thumb is to expect the weight loss to take just as long as it took to put the weight on. So if it took you 3 years to gain that 30 pounds, give yourself 3 years to lose that 30 pounds. And I'm talking to you as a guy who's cheating, quote unquote cheating, with Ozempic. I've lost a crap ton of weight since March or April, when I first started. I've lost 37 freaking pounds. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing pretty good. But that's still over what? That's 9 months? What is that? That's not even 4 pounds a month. That's not even a pound a week. And I feel like I'm killing it. You look at my face, you look at my body, look at that before and after picture. I'm doing the darn thing. But if you looked at social media, I'm a failure. If you look at social media, I'm Slowpoke Rodriguez. If you don't know who that is, that's not a racist comment. That's an actual character from the cartoons. There's Speedy Gonzalez, and he had his cousin named Slowpoke Rodriguez, who was super slow. So it's not a racist comment. Don't come after me. Speedy Gonzalez was the fast one, Slowpoke was the slow one. If I look at social media, I'm Slowpoke. I'm the slow guy because these guys will tell you 100 different times that you can lose 90 pounds in 90 freaking minutes. So just give yourself a little bit of grace and be patient. Let yourself train, be consistent, go 2 to 3 times a week, moderate pace, push it, but don't kill yourself, and give yourself some time. It took you time to put the weight on. It'll take you time to take the weight off. So that's my number 2 thing is patience. Number 3, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu can burn a crap ton of calories, but diet is the key to success. Let me say that again. You might be training, you might be rolling, you might be amping up your cardio, you might be lifting weights, you can do all that stuff. And none of that freaking matters because pounds are lost in the freaking kitchen. And I heard that before, but I still went weighted vest, CrossFit guy. My eating was better, but it wasn't great. I have lost this weight mostly on diet. And I'll tell you how in a minute. Losing weight happens in the kitchen. The number one thing you can lift or put down is your fork, okay? And let me break it down like this. Every single diet that is popular right now, carnivore, paleo, the Gracie diet, anything that you like or love, or anything that's recommended to you that says they're gonna give you results, it all has one thing in common. That one thing is a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit means you are eating less calories than you normally would, okay? You're taking in fewer calories than you normally would. And the way that we do that, they say paleo, whatever. If they say carnivore, whatever, you're changing your normal eating habits and you're not eating the fries or the rice or the potatoes or whatever, and you're naturally bringing in fewer calories. This is the deception and the lie of marketing, is that they tell you it's this and it's really not. If I tell you it's the blah, blah, blah diet, it's the Chris Learns Jiu-Jitsu diet. Really, if you cut out some things, you're gonna take in fewer calories than you normally do, and you're gonna lose weight. Atkins, keto, 9 times out of 10, you're losing weight because you're eating less. You're bringing in less calories. And yes, depending on the quality of the food, we'll talk about that more in a minute. Depending on the quality of the food, you will feel fuller. You'll be fuller longer. You'll have a better benefit from what you eat, and how much you eat. But ultimately, if you're following some kind of a plan, if you're following some kind of a diet, you're taking in fewer calories than normal. And that, my friends, is what's making the difference. It doesn't matter what the diet's called. It doesn't matter what it is. The fact that you're being mindful and intentional about what you eat, the fact you're being mindful and intentional about what you eat is what makes all the difference. Now, I'm going to tell you the number one thing that made the biggest difference in my weight loss journey, more than working out, more than jiu-jitsu, more than a calorie deficit, more than everything in the world. I'm going to tell you what it is later on in this video. As a matter of fact, I might even just tell you right now, the number one thing that made a difference is Weight Watchers. The number one thing that made a difference is tracking my calories. Weight Watchers is just a one technique, one method. I'm going to tell you something. If you have MyFitnessPal where you can track what you eat, just as good. If you have a paper and a pen, a notebook, if you write down and keep track of what you eat, it makes such a huge difference. And here's the reason why. You're not mindful unless you're keeping a record. You're not staying on top of it. You're not aware of it unless you're writing it down or tracking it somehow. And just like I said before, you need a framework, you need a plan, whether it's paleo, whatever. It helped me to have a plan and a framework as to what I can eat. And in changing that Whole30, whatever it's called, changing the approach gave me a method, somewhere to compare and contrast what I was taking in. And then you need some kind of way to keep track of it. When I lost weight all those years ago, I was tracking at MyFitnessPal. This time around, it's Weight Watchers. And this is not sponsored. I'm not getting any Weight Watchers money. I have 200 subscribers. Weight Watchers ain't giving me any money. But here's what I will tell you. Weight Watchers changed the game for me for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, it gave me an active way to track what I was eating so I could stay focused and stay on task. Reason number 2, method number 2, is because it gave me permission to eat the things that I want when I want them. Let me say that again. Weight Watchers gave me permission to eat the things I want when I want them. I got a homeboy named Joseph. Joseph lost like 150 pounds. Huge mofo. Now he's a skinny mofo. And I asked him, bro, what did you do? And he's like, I ate it in and out every day for lunch. And I was like, what? That sounded so weird to me. But when he explained it, he says, I didn't deny myself. He started to lose weight when he stopped denying himself. If he went all salad, all carnivore, nothing but steak and black coffee, he's going to have less success, or he had less success. I had less success. The more rigid you make it, the harder it is to be successful. And so the thing I like about Weight Watchers, and this is not a commercial for them, again, not sponsored, is that there's certain things that you can eat, like chicken breast, all white meat chicken breast is free. Weight Watchers gives you a certain amount of points, whatever, and if you eat an all white meat chicken breast, it costs you literally 0 points. So if you have 40 points for the day and you eat 2 white meat chicken breasts, you still have 40 points. So if you're tracking, you're like, oh, I'm doing great, I'm killing it, which is awesome to see. I ate something like today for lunch. My wife packed me some salmon, lean salmon, good healthy fats, 0 points. And she gave me half a cup of rice. And that was like, I don't know, 6, 7 points, whatever. I can look at my tracker and say, okay, I had my protein coffee this morning. Black coffee is free. My protein shake is 2 points. Boom. I had a banana. That's a piece of fruit. Fruit is free. 0 points. I had salmon. That's free. Rice, 6 points. Boom, I had 8 points. If I had 40 points, which I have more than that, but if I had 40 points, I still have 32 points left, and it's 3:30. I got plenty of room to go, and I ate healthy. I had chicken breast, or I had a banana, or I had rice, and I had fruit, and some people will tell you fruit's the devil, it's sugar, blah, 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 blah. You find what works for you. But for me, I like the idea that I can eat fruit, and I like the idea that I can have rice, and I like the idea that I can eat healthy. Like, I dare you to find a nutritionist or a dietitian and say, hey, is white meat chicken breast somehow bad for me? Wait and listen to what they have to say. Hey, Mr. Nutritionist, Dr. So-and-so, is having a banana bad for me? These carnivore guys, these paleo guys, these other guys are going to tell you it's the devil, the sugar is the end of the world, blah, blah, blah. You find what works for you, but if you're not tracking it, it didn't count. It's like having a goal. If you don't write it down, it's just a dream. If you don't write it down, you're not tracking your food. If you don't have an app or some way to track it, it's just not going to work. So again, not a Weight Watchers commercial, but I love the fact that I can track my stuff, and I love the fact that I get free stuff. So if I eat well, healthy, clean, I'm going to have plenty of points left over at the end of the day. But if I screw up and have myself a McDonald's McMuffin, I don't even know how many points that is. Let's say it's 15 points. I can have my McMuffin and have my 15 points and now only have 25 points left for the day. Hell, I could have my McMuffin and it's 30 points and that leaves me with 10 points or whatever for the day. Then if you get hungry later, you better eat something free. You better have some fruit, some broccoli, some vegetables, maybe some white meat chicken. Again, I think that works. I like those parameters because, trust me, I've had more people than I care to imagine give me advice on weight loss. I've had more people than I care to think about tell me what diet I should be on, especially people who want to preach the gospel of the carnivore. Not a fan of the carnivore diet, but we're not going to talk about specific diets. What I will say is you have to eat less than normal, take in fewer calories than you normally would, and you have to eat better quality food. And the only way you're going to know that you're taking in fewer calories, and the only way you're going to know that you're eating quality food is if you write that crap down. MyFitnessPal has the same thing. It's a little different now. It's kind of weird because you have to pay extra if you want to scan your stuff, but I think it's worth it. So if you're not tracking it, you're screwing yourself. So BJJ burns, 700 to 1,000 calories a session, whatever it is, a crap ton of calories. But if you go home and you eat a double Western bacon cheeseburger from Carl's Jr. with crisp cut fries, you dip them in ranch, and you have a extra large Coke or Diet Coke probably, because trust me, I would eat like that back in the day. You're doing yourself a disservice. You burned 1,000 calories, you just ate 1,500. The weight is lost in the kitchen. Speaking of losing weight, my fourth point is muscle freaking matters. Let me say it again. Muscle matters. Now, I'm not telling you to go be a strength training warrior. I'm not telling you to go deadlift 2 Volkswagens and squat refrigerators and bench press a dump truck. But you got to focus on losing fat, not just losing weight, which means you have to do something to build the muscle in your body. You got to take in a good amount of protein, and you have to do something to build your muscle. It can be weights. It can be kettlebells, it can be sandbags, it can be calisthenics, whatever it is, but you got to build in and incorporate some kind of a strength training to get the results you want. If you're eating nothing but, soup, remember the Slim Fats commercials? A shake for breakfast, a shake for lunch, and then a sensible dinner. You're not getting the nutrients you need to survive. And if you're training BJJ, you're putting your body through some serious stuff, and you're gonna need to replenish and rebuild that, which means you need some protein, and it helps if you're strong. If I were you, and I do this probably at least 2 times a week, you go to the gym, you hit yourself a couple up, upper body day, lower body day, whatever. If you have a calisthenics, you take a class, boxing class, we have this thing at my gym called CS4, okay? It's like CrossFit. It's like high intensity interval training. Whatever it is, you have to give yourself an opportunity typically through resistance training, to build muscle. Because again, muscle weighs more than fat. Lifting weight and burning calories, lifting weights, and the time that it takes and the energy it takes for your body to repair the muscle after you're done is going to pay dividends. Weight training is going to continue to burn calories even after the workout is done. And on top of that, you're going to look better and feel better too. Some people think they're just going to shrink, and when they shrink, they're going to suddenly be shredded. It doesn't work that way. You have to actually meet the fat halfway. And by lifting the weights and building the muscle, you will burn more fat and you'll get better results faster. Again, it's not a race. Patience is the key, but you have to focus on maintaining your strength, especially guys like me that are on like Ozempic. If you're not taking enough protein, your body's gonna catabolize, is what they call it. They're gonna eat itself. I'm gonna eat my muscle for energy instead of eating the fat. My body's gonna cannibalize. It's gonna eat itself. It's gonna suck because I'm not gonna get the results I want. I'm gonna be scrawny instead of strong. So make sure you're doing the thing. You're taking in enough protein and you're doing some kind of resistance training. Yes, rolling counts, but I think if you had a couple of times a week specific weight training, resistance training, you would get better results. And the very last thing, point number 5, is that it's not just about the training. It's also about the recovery. It's not just about the diet, it's also about the recovery. Probably one of the number one things that people neglect when it comes to weight loss is sleep, myself included. BJJ can help you lose weight, but you also have to consider how much time you spend resting, okay? Now, if you kill yourself in the gym day after day, 5 days a week, and you're lifting, and you're doing, it's gonna suck. You have to find, first of all, sleep. Secondly, you have to find a way or give yourself an opportunity to rest and relax and, what word am I looking at? Recover. I did a video on recovery a couple weeks ago where I talked about yoga, which was actually kind of funny because I ended up, I don't think I hurt myself in yoga now, but whatever. I thought I hurt myself in yoga class. But go for walks on your rest days. You need rest days, y'all. If you have a rest day, you can go for a walk, and that keeps you what we call active rest, right? So you do something active, but you're not killing yourself. You're not putting too much strain on your body. I talked about restorative yoga. That's fantastic. Riding a bike, any kind of yoga. Swimming. I mean, there's all these things you can do. And of course, we have all the cryotherapy and the jacuzzis and the red lights and all that stuff. I'm not going to tell you that's important or you have to do that, but I will say that it could make a difference. So pay attention to how much you are resting, because all the energy you're putting out in the gym, at the Jiu-Jitsu Academy, or in the gym lifting weights or doing some kind of resistance training, you have to have some downtime somewhere. So I would encourage you to also keep in mind how much you should rest. I don't have a good guideline on that. Of course, sleep matters. So, they say you're supposed to sleep 8 hours a night. Maybe that's the move. I don't know. But for me, consistency matters more than intensity. Being patient matters. Weight loss takes plenty of time. Give yourself as much time to lose it as you did to gain it. And don't believe or don't listen or don't buy into these stupid flat tummy tea, hustle things you see online where people are losing 90 pounds in 90 days. It's not real. And even if they do lose that weight, it always comes back. Whole30, all that stuff. As soon as you go off that diet, boom, it comes right back. My boy Nick, I love him to death. He might even be watching this video. But Nick, every time he hits a certain weight, he goes keto. I got to get back on the keto. And he loses 18, 20 pounds. And he goes, okay, I'm back to normal. And he starts eating again. And he gains it. And he just keeps doing this. Because he's on this cycle of weight loss, weight gain, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss, weight gain. It doesn't work. The moment you stop the fad diet, it all comes back. Of course, I said diet is key. You got to track what you eat. Weight Watchers, MyFitnessPal, write it down on a piece of notebook paper. But you got to track what you eat, and you have to find a system that works for you. Even if it's a named diet, Whole30, carnivore, paleo, Atkins, keto, whatever it is, find a framework that works for you that you can operate in, track your progress, and make sure you're hitting your goals. I love me some Weight Watchers because it lets me eat what I want and gives me free foods, so that helps. And if I want to have a cookie, it's not the end of the world. If it fits my macros, if it fits my points, I'm okay. And of course, I said muscle matters. You have to take in enough protein to maintain your muscle, and then it's helpful to build muscle by doing some kind of resistance training because there's the afterburn effect. As your body repairs itself after you built that muscle, it'll be beneficial to you long term. And instead of just hoping it's all going to fall off and then you're skinny, you're gonna help yourself and meet yourself halfway by building the muscle while you lose the fat. And last but not least, focus on recovery. Get good sleep, rest, treat your body well, get massages, do yoga, hit the cryotherapy, hit the sauna, hit the jacuzzi, whatever it is that makes you feel good. Take care of your body so you're not beating it up all the time. And now I know I've talked to you like I'm some kind of an expert. And believe it or not, most fat people are kind of experts on nutrition and fitness because they've tried everything. And they've learned a lot, they've read a lot, and some people are like, well, why are you fat then? Because we didn't find anything that worked for us long term, even me. But of course, now I'm eating healthier, I'm tracking my food, I've got my little Ozempic help, I'm training jiu-jitsu 2 and 3 and sometimes even 4 and 5 times a week. I'm taking care of my body with yoga and the sauna and cryotherapy and the jacuzzi. All these things add up and matter to weight loss. So when I look at that old, horribly unflattering picture of myself and I think, man, I was killing it back in 2021, I can say I'm at that exact same weight and I'm a lot freaking happier than I was. I'm at the exact same weight and I'm not killing myself with weighted vest, running, trying to kill it and burn it. I'm not at CrossFit workouts doing bar over burpees. Nothing wrong with that. But my effort this time around is so much more enjoyable because it's more about the food than the fitness. And then the fitness becomes the fun. Maybe that's the bonus tip. Make your fitness fun. And if you're watching this, your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is probably your fun. If you're the kind of person who's doing like CrossFit and you hate CrossFit, it's not gonna last. If you're the kind of person who's doing powerlifting and you don't like powerlifting, it's not gonna last. I tried it. Powerlifting was lonely as hell for me. I liked it. I liked feeling strong, but it was like you're just by yourself pushing weight. I'd much rather have people to train with and talk to and laugh and joke with and see every week and go, hey, Bob, hey, Tony, good to see you, and roll with them and fight with them and crack some jokes and talk crap after class. Much more enjoyable. And if you're watching this, you probably feel the same way. So if you're a big guy, if you're an ultra heavyweight, those are my 5 tips for losing weight loss while doing BJJ. And it's probably not what you were expecting. And of course, if you have anything to say, if you have some contradictions, if you disagree, or if you have anything you want to add, let me know in the comments. Hit me up at Chris Learns Jiu-Jitsu. You can hit me up on social media at Chris Learns Jiu-Jitsu. Trust me, lots of people have lately. Some have been kind, some have been not so kind. And of course, I cracked back and fired back a little bit. Some people didn't like that either. So let me just come with some beautiful, wonderful tips to help you get where you need to be. And if you're a chubby, ultra heavyweight like myself, hopefully these things were helpful to you. You might have known them already. You might have already known this stuff. Now the question is, are you going to do it? And that's it for me. Stay positive. I'm sorry. Got it out of order again. Stay focused, stay positive, and stay vigilant. See you next time.